out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, bond, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Look till we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, applied myself.
Welcome back to CTC, and I'm here to give y'all week 11 preview for the rest of the week. I'm gonna do a short actually about college basketball games to look out for. I'm gonna just make that a short because there's really not one tonight that's like in particularly great. I know tomorrow we got a couple, but today, like I said, we're here for your week 11 preview, and I'm going to recap the games that happened last night. 2 blowouts in action last night, and 1 shutout in action. So wasn't really much fun in action last night, but I still got to come up here and get y'all recaps. But before I do that, I would like to ask for y'all to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share. It helps the network grow. We're closing in on that 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, please just leave a like, comment, subscribe if you like the content on this show, CTC. If you like the content on the main show featuring Joe Tom on Dave, which will be going live at 7, I believe, in NFC East panel. So I got to get y'all out of here a little quickly. We got BWT Baseball with Teddy. We have FFC Fantasy Football with Coach Coons, who went live early this morning. We got the Joe Jordan Show, where he gives topics. He just talks about topics he want to talk about. Dave's Doghouse, which went live yesterday. And in the chats, I had to give Dave a little flack for one of the Doghouse members, and I don't even like the team. And now we got the newly added show. We got RBO Real Ballers Only with, y'all know him as my co-host on the Ravens Steelers Members Only if you're a member, but featuring Vaughn, well, that's Vaughn's show, Real Ballers Only, where he gives light to the players that main media don't want to give light to. He gave light to rookies yesterday. I believe it went live yesterday. Gave light to a couple rookies. Shout out Marcus Saxon, one of my guys. Little spoiler alert there. But, yeah. If you like any of the content on those shows on it, and then the network, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Go down the rabbit hole. If you like what you see, just stick with us. So, I went over the College Football Committee polls on Tuesday, so I don't have any poll talk for y'all today. So, we're just going to get right into these recaps. Move this journal. Long journal's up. And the first game we got for y'all is Akron 0, Miami of Ohio 19. That was your final score in that ball game. It was a shutout. Miami of Ohio defense just took over. Too much for Akron. Akron was able to move the ball a little bit, but they weren't able to sustain drives at all to score. Now they had one late drive late in the second half, but the ball was intercepted. But let's get into it. So Miami starts with the 1 yard Rashad Amos touchdown run, set up by Rashad Amos 40-yard run. Then we got Akron started with a Jeff Undercutler interception, but it only leads to a Miami of Ohio 3-out punt. Then with 5:01 left in the second quarter, Miami would then score a 35-yard field goal. Akron turnover on downs, 4th and 13 after that. Pass is incomplete, but it just leads to halftime. So score at half is 10-0. Akron starts the second half with a 3-and-out punt. Miami starts the second half with a 3-and-out punt. Akron, turnover on downs, 4th and 1. Run with stuff leads to a Miami turnover on downs, 4th and 2. Pass incomplete. What would lead to an Akron turnover on downs, 4th and 4. Pass 3 yards to Lorenzo Lingard, not enough. Which would then lead to a Rashad Amos 30-yard touchdown run. With the extra point would be blocked. And then Miami would score a 32-yard field goal set up by Rashad Amos 18-yard run, Then Miami's Kenny Tracy would fumble. Leads to that Undercuffler interception, which would lead to a 3-and-out punt, and then Akron will have his final turnover on downs, 4th and 4. Undercuffler is sacked, which will lead to the end of the game. Don't really got too much on this game. Like I said, Miami defense took over, forced a lot of turnover on downs, forced 2 picks. Just too much. It was a handful for Akron, led to the shutout. And Miami, because of that defense, if you bet the spread, covered the spread. So we move on. Like I said, I'm gonna get these last two blowouts out the way real quick. I have not too many notes for this game. So Bowling Green won handily. By the way, I picked Miami to win that game. I picked Bowling Green to win this one, and they won 49-19. Let me double check that actually, because I could have been dumb and picked Kent State, but part of me telling me I did pick Bowling Green to win this game. Yep, check marks over Bowling Green. Check marks over. Yep, cool. So I did pick Bowling Green to win. Why is that game? Okay, cool. So yeah, I went 3-0 in my action last night because y'all know I picked Toledo. So for Bowling Green, they scored on 4 of 6 of their first half drives, and those 4 drives were all touchdowns. So they scored all touchdowns. They scored 4 of their 6 drives, all of them being touchdowns. Now, Kent State, on the other hand, scored on 2 of their 6 offensive drives in the first half, and those 2 scores were field goals. And I wrote down how Kent State drives went because they didn't score a majority of them. So it went field goal, fumble, punt, field goal, missed field goal, then punt. Giving up big plays to Bowling Green as well. Like, Bowling Green didn't kill him on the ground. Bowling Green was actually missing Terrion Stewart. He was a late game scratch. He was a game time decision, late game scratch. Terrion Stewart, I would say major part of this Bowling Green offense at running back, was a late scratch. And they still gave up big plays through the air to Connor Bazelak. Now, for the second half, Bowling Green scored on 3. They scored on 3 of 6 drives in the second half. All 3 of those drives were touchdown drives. Now, Kent State scored on 2 of their 6 drives, 2 of them being touchdowns, but it's not enough. When you're down 28-6 at half, you can't score on less drives than your opponent. This is going to lengthen out the score. Kent State did have 2 turnovers, while Bowling Green only had 1 turnover. Like I said, they gave up big plays. So, I mean, like I said, I don't really have that much to go over on this one. And we move on to our final game. Toledo, Eastern Michigan 23, Toledo 49. I did pick Toledo to win. Like I said, I went 3-0 in action last night. Now, Eastern Michigan only scored 3 points in the first half, and that was the final drive in the first half. While Toledo scored touchdowns on every drive in the first half. All 5 of their drives were touchdown drives. Yo, what up, my guy? Welcome back, Daniel. Hopefully you liked last Tuesday. Hope you liked the show Tuesday. Hopefully you liked the show today, man. Welcome back. I appreciate you coming back and enjoying the show, my boy. Welcome back. Eastern Michigan in the second half scored 3 garbage touchdowns. It was pointless at the end of the game. I mean, if you bet the under team total, then you're pissed. But in terms of the actual game itself, they scored 3 garbage touchdowns. While Toledo, they scored touchdowns on 2 of 4 of their drives. Now, the only 2 times they didn't score was when they threw a pick and when they fumbled. Toledo had 2 turnovers in the second half. The turnover bug rears its ugly head. Toledo's second halves haven't been the greatest. Last week, I believe they had turnovers in the second half against Buffalo. I remember they got shut out against Miami of Ohio in the second half. So, ugly second halves keep rearing their ugly head. But Toledo wins easily, handily. 49-23, killed not under that by themselves. But hey, Toledo, like I said, should be the MAC champion. I think they'll be the MAC champion. We're counting down to the MAC championship game in Detroit. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all recaps. Like I said, real quick, real easy. All games were not really necessarily close. So now I have to get into the previews for tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday. And I clicked the wrong thing. Here we go. Right here. Boom. First, we got tonight, Virginia at Louisville. As you can see, Louisville are 20.5-point favorites at home. And why wouldn't they? They've been on a hot streak. They've shut out Duke. They blow out, I can't remember right now. Why can't I remember who they just blew out? My apologies. I can't remember who they blew out, but I know they did blow somebody out. But, excuse me, you can catch this game tonight, Thursday, on ESPN at 7:30. If you're new to how I do my previews, by the way, the way I do my previews, I do 5 keys for each game. For each team, how they can win, have a possibility of winning the game, and then I get my pick on who's going to win. So for UVA, who will start at quarterback tonight? Is it Tony Muskett or is it Anthony Calandria? They got to figure that. Yeah, that's going to be. If it's Calandria, as much as I love Calandria, I love his moxie, I love his talent, he's going to throw a fourth quarter pick. It's like death taxes Calandria fourth quarter pick. So. Gotta pick wisely who's going to be a quarterback for Louisville, and Louisville, the strong defense. Oh, next point. Have to figure out this Louisville defense. This Louisville defense, like I said, shut down Duke. They shut them out. They blew out. You know, let me find this for y'all because I'm sick of saying they blew out somebody I can't figure out. I can't remember who it was. I was trying to remember this whole time. Blew out Virginia Tech. Boom, there you go. They blew out Virginia Tech 34-3. Shut out Duke. Blew out, or they actually got blown out by Pitt. Then they did their thing against Notre Dame. So the defense has been great. Got to figure it out. They have to find a run game. This run game for UVA has been terrible. They cannot establish a run. They got to figure out a run game against this team, especially because I remember earlier in the year, Louisville's run defense being the, I want to say Achilles heel, but I would say the weakness of the defense. I feel like you can get this defense through the ground. I don't know if you can win strictly beating them on the ground, but you can get some yards on the ground against this defense. And you have to stop the explosive plays, you know. They got Jawad Jordan, the home run hitter. They got Jamari Thrash, the big play receiver. I don't know if I would necessarily say Amari Huggins-Bruce is a big play receiver for Louisville, as well as Kevin Coleman, I believe that's his name, Kevin Coleman. Let me see. Yeah, Kevin Coleman. I don't know if I would say those are big play receivers, but I know I would say Jamari Thrash for sure. Chris Bell, I would say, yeah, Chris Bell is also a big play guy. So, got to stop that. And then finally, you got to force and cash in on turnovers. Jack Plummer will throw you a pick. I feel like he will throw them an interception. You got to force picks and you got to cash in. You can't just force them and punch it. Can't have the ball or even getting 3. You got to get touchdowns off these interceptions if you have a chance to be in Louisville. Now for Louisville, Jack Plummer, take care of the football. Like I said, no picks. No picks. Got to be no picks, Jack. Jawad Jordan hit explosive plays. Man, it seems like every game. I still think it's every game but one where he's had an explosive touchdown. That's incredible. You have to keep that up. Force the Virginia interception, especially like I said, Death Taxes, Calandria, fourth quarter interception. Got to force it. Have to stop Malik Washington. Malik Washington, in my opinion, is the best player on this offense. Got to stop him. Him and Malachi Fields are a tough wide receiver duo. And contain Anthony Calandria or Tony Muskett. Don't let them use their legs, especially Calandria, because Calandria can run. Don't let Calandria be the extension to the run game. Got to contain the quarterbacks. But with that being said, I take Louisville in this game against Virginia. Thankfully, it's on Thursday. I might actually be watching this game because Thursday night football might not be no better either. But I'm going to take Louisville to beat Virginia at home. Louisville has been super hot. It's looking like a Florida State Louisville ACC championship. And that's going to be a great game. So give me Louisville. Next, we got Southern Miss at University of Louisiana Lafayette. We have that game tonight, 7:30 on ESPNU. So you can catch that game. For Southern Mississippi, they got to find a way to keep opponents out the end zone. They've been getting torched. That defense has been getting scored on nonstop. Got to find ways to get teams out the end zone. Have to establish Frank Gore Jr., who might be the best player on offense. You got to find a way to establish him. Have to stop the run. They have to stop the Louisiana run. I'm going to say Louisville. Have to stop the Louisiana run. Can't allow Louisiana to control the game on the ground because it's already bad enough. You can't keep opponents out the end zone and you have a hard time scoring. Can't allow them to do that. Billy Wiles has to take care of the football. I believe he has 9 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Not good, especially when you can't keep teams out the end zone. You can't give them extra possessions either to score more. And you got to get to Zion Chris, who this Southern Mississippi defense does have 24 sacks on the year, which isn't bad. That's not bad. It's decent. It's not actually pretty good because I believe like the Ravens in the NFL lead the league in sacks like 34. And we played 9 games, and that's like 10 sacks all, but that's like leading the league. So 24 sacks in 9 games is not bad. For Louisiana, make the game high scoring. Basically, run it up. They can run it up. Southern Miss won't match. Have to stop Frank Gore Jr. And like I said, best player on Southern Miss's offense. Establish Jacob Cabody, who has 611 yards and 6 touchdowns. Keep Southern Miss offense behind the chains because that forces Billy Wiles to throw the ball more, which leads to more chances at an interception. And you got to get Peter LeBlanc the ball, 375 yards, 4 touchdowns in the year. Give him the ball. Let him score. For this game, I'm going to take Louisiana Lafayette to win the game at home against Southern Miss. I think they're going to run it up. I think minus 8.5 might be too low. I know I'm betting the minus 8.5 tonight. You can follow me if you want. I'm taking that minus 8.5. For tomorrow, we have North Texas at Southern Methodist or SMU. Friday, 9 o'clock, which is super late. Friday, 9 o'clock on ESPN2. For North Texas, have to get to Preston Stone. They only got 12 sacks on the year. That's not good. Gotta get to the quarterback. Let Chandler Rogers keep slinging the rock. He's been balling, 21 touchdowns, 3 picks. I know lately Northern Texas has been in close games. I remember they should have beat Memphis. Don't know how they gave up that last second touchdown to Memphis for their homecoming. Should have beat Memphis. Kind of kept it close with UTSA. Kind of scored a touchdown late to cover, actually. Get the ball to Jamari Macklin, which I'm going to look this up real quick because that name sounds really familiar to Jeremy Macklin. I just want to see if it's any relation. I meant to do this earlier, but I completely forgot. Now I see his name again. I remember. Let's see. Look this up real quick. I mean, we at that. Jeremy Macklin is not necessarily the youngest guy. Like, we're at that age where that could be his father. Let's see. I don't think so because it would have popped up immediately. Oh no, that's his cousin. That's his cousin. Okay, cool. So there's a relation. It's not. I thought it might be his son, but it's his cousin. So that's what's up. But Jamari Macklin and Roger Burns, they got to get the ball. I think Jamari Macklin actually got like 11 touchdowns, so he's been balling. Still have to give Ayo Adeni his touches. He has 716 yards and 4 touchdowns, and you have to limit SMU touchdowns. I don't think they're going to win a game if SMU is just like, scoring that will. SMU, Preston Stone, continue the ball. He has 21 touchdowns and 5 picks. So similar numbers to Chandler Rogers, just 2 more interceptions. Have to get stops on North Texas because I think, I don't know, I just feel like if they don't, North Texas catches rhythm, they get hot, they might mess around. If you keep teams in the game late, might mess around and lose. Give Jalen Knight the ball, 511 yards, 4 touchdowns at running back. Get the ball to Jordan Hudson and RJ Maryland. They both have 5 touchdowns apiece for this SMU offense, which is like leading the team in touchdowns. Obviously beside the quarterback. And keep Jamari Macklin out the end zone. Yes, he has 11 touchdowns. I wrote it down. Keep him out the end zone. Make somebody else score. I think it's like a huge gap between Macklin and I think the next person is Roger Burns with 4. Huge gap in touchdowns. But I'm going to take SMU at home to win this game. SMU, I just think, is the better team. SMU has the better defense. North Texas defense is susceptible to getting burnt up, as you can see. But, however, I think I'm taking North Texas to cover that 16.5. They've been covering lately a lot. They've been in closer games a lot lately. So I think I'm taking, if you want to follow me, that's up to you. I think I'm taking that North Texas plus 16.5. For our last game Friday, we have Wyoming at UNLV. And I'm not going to lie, like I picked the winner, but it was hard to pick a winner in this game. I like both teams. But we got Wyoming, UNLV Friday at 10:45 on Fox Sports 1. And yes, I have to work Saturday. So it's going to be hard for me to stay up to watch this game, especially with daylight savings kicking my behind right now. But I'm going to have to do it for y'all. For Wyoming, we have to contain Ricky White, the wide receiver, Michigan State transfer, shout out at now at UNLV. He's been balling all year. Have to establish Harrison Wiley, the running back. You got to establish the run game against this UNLV team. Have to win the turnover battle. Now, both Andrew Peasley and Jaden Mavea both have 4 interceptions on the year. So that's probably going to be a key for both of them since they both only have 4. But you got to protect the football and win the turnover battle. Have to get to Jaden Mavea. This team only has 15 sacks, and Mavea will pick you apart. And Peasley has to use his legs. He has to be dynamic. He can't just be sitting in the pocket. He has legs. He can't use them. Got to use them. Now, for UNLV, get the ball to Ricky White. He has 876 yards and 6 touchdowns on the year. Like I said, he's been balling. Have to make this a shootout. This is what I'm saying. They have to make it a high-scoring game. Wyoming isn't built to win high-scoring games. I think besides the Texas Tech game, which shocked me, that's like the only high-scoring game I remember them winning. Like, even the game against Fresno State, they jumped out to a big lead and then was scoring late game. And Fresno State with Logan Fife, because Mikey King got hurt, almost won that game. Get Vincent Davis Jr. the ball. He has 520 yards and 4 touchdowns. Contain Andrew Peasley. Just like I said, he got legs, but you can't let him use them if you're UNLV. And get big plays to get the home crowd involved. Turnovers, that little turnover jackpot, all that stuff. Sweet. Gets the crowd involved, gets the confidence going, swings momentum. And with that being said, I'm going to take UNLV. I just strictly went with the home team. This game in my eyes was so close. I just went with the home team, and UNLV is the home team, so I just took UNLV to win. Now, We move on to Saturday. And Saturday, I'm not going to lie. Again, with these noon games, I forced myself to preview an extra game. I could have just kept it at 2, but I forced myself to do a third. But I got 3, 4 in the afternoon, and 4 in the late night. And the afternoon and late night, boy, we got some treats today. Saturday. So first, we got number 3 ranked Michigan at number 10 ranked Penn State, a highly anticipated game. We got two a fan of each team in the chats, in the college football chat. If you'd like to join, become a member, get you in these chats. We got Michigan established Blake. Oh, my bad. You can catch this game noon Fox on Saturday. Michigan established Blake Corum, the heart and soul in this offense, in my opinion. Some people might want to say it's J.J. McCarthy. I disagree. I think it's Blake Corum. Keep the Penn State offense behind the chains. Drew Law has yet to show me something. If you can start Katron Allen and Nick Singletary and keep forcing Penn State in like 3rd and 8s, 37s, make Drew Law beat you, he hasn't shown it to me. Pressure Drew Law. With that being said, he hasn't shown it, and now you send pressure at him too. Oh, boy, it's going to be a long night for Penn State. J.J. McCarthy, get the ball to Roman Wilson. I think Roman Wilson, might as well throw Cornelius Johnson in that too. 2 good receivers. I say 2 great receivers for Michigan. Gotta get them the football. Stop Nick Singletary. Nick Singleton and Katron Allen. Already explained that. Now for Penn State, have to be able to throw the football. Drew Law got to show me something in this game. He has to show me something. Drew Law is going to be the X factor for them to win. If he don't show me nothing, they're getting blown out. If he show me something, they have a chance late in the game to win. Defense has to make this a low-scoring game. I believe the under is like 45 and a half, around that. That's still kind of high. They got to make this like a 10-7, 13-14, 21-17. That defense got to make the game something like that. Nick Singleton and Katron Allen, either or, have to break long runs. They got to take some of this pressure off Drew Law. They got the offensive line got to open up holes, to get like 20 yards hit, 25, maybe a 40-yard touchdown run, maybe a 15. They got to break long runs. And Kalen King and Day Hardy is going to have to force an interception. I like these 2 cornerbacks. I really noticed Day in the Ohio State game. I already know about Kalen King. They got to force a pick. They got to force a J.J. McCarthy pick. Not one apiece, just either or. Now, if they both get one apiece, then, hey, great news for Penn State defense. And they got to stop Blake Corum. Self-explanatory. Like I said, the heart and soul of that Michigan offense, in my opinion. But with that being said, I'm taking Michigan on the road against Penn State, and I basically explained it. I haven't seen enough to where Drew Law can give me any confidence in Penn State to win this game. I would love to be proven wrong and Drew Law for me to shut me up Saturday, being a Michigan State fan, as I know, but just don't see it. And I gotta be objective here on CTC. So I got Michigan winning this game. I just don't see it. So moving on, we got 8th ranked Alabama at unranked Kentucky now. Alabama, you can catch this game Saturday noon on ESPN for Alabama. Stop Ray Davis. Again, situation where Ray Davis, the running back, is the best player on this offense for Kentucky. Keep Kentucky offense behind the chains. Now I get, and I'm going to touch on it next, but I get Devin Leary had a really good game against Tennessee. Tennessee won, but Devin Leary wasn't the reason why Tennessee won. He actually balled out. He was phenomenal. I just don't think Devin Leary can repeat it. Force a Devin Leary interception, which I think will happen. Jalen Milroe has to continue to get better, which he has been. Like the threat he had running the ball against LSU last week, we haven't seen that, especially not to that magnitude. We know he can get a couple yards here and there. He extends plays. But to run for over 100 yards, have 3 touchdowns on the ground, this kid is getting better every week. I see why Nick Saban picked this guy. He's been getting better and better, and I'm getting more faith in my Alabama national championship prediction. I know Alabama still needs help. They still got to beat Georgia if they win the SEC West, but I'm getting more confidence in that. And then Dallas Turner, he did get ejected for targeting against LSU, but I think he only has to sit the first half. He's going to be huge in the second half trying to get to Jackson Dart. They have to get to – wrong game. Jesus Christ. I don't know why I'm thinking of Jackson Dart. Man, hey, Ole Miss Georgia is on the preview. Don't know why I said Jackson Dart. He's going to be huge in getting to Devin Leary. Excuse me. He's going to be huge to get to Devin Leary and get to the quarterback and get him on the ground. And, either pressuring them, making them force an errant throw, or missing a guy. Dallas Turner in the second half will be using that. Now, for Kentucky, they got to take advantage of Dallas Turner not being in the first half. If they can go up in the first half because of it, that would be huge. Devin Leary has to play like last week. Again, he balled against Tennessee, making opposite sideline throws on comebacks or out routes, just NFL throws. Ray Davis has to get going. I think Ray Davis need $125, not even just 100, but $125 or more for Kentucky to have a chance. Have the force of Jalen Milroe. Have the force of Jalen Milroe interception or couple. You gotta force some extra possessions, and I think if anything, forcing Milroe to give you those extra possessions will probably happen more than a fumble. And don't allow big plays. Don't allow the deep ball to Jermaine Burton. Don't allow the big deep ball to Isaiah Bond. We seen Amari Knee-Black last week against LSU. Even though Milroe missed him, he went out for a deep ball. We seen a couple of him. Can't allow the big runs by Jace McClellan. Can't allow big plays at all. But I'm taking Alabama to win this game on the road. Alabama's been hot ever since they lost to Texas. They just been hot. I mean, they've been winning in multiple ways too, whether it's defensively, offensively. Milroe himself, they've been winning in multiple ways. I'm taking Bama. Now, for our last game in that noon to 3:30 slot, I picked Arizona at Colorado. Arizona's been playing really good football lately. You can catch this game Saturday, 2 o'clock on Pac-12 Network if you have Pac-12 Network. So for Arizona, Noah Fafita, and again, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, continue to play lights out. He's been balling. He was balling against UCLA. Oh, my God. Have to contain Shedeur Sanders. And when I mean contain him in this situation, I normally mean stopping the run, but this time I don't. I just mean you can't allow Shedeur Sanders to throw for 300, 350. Even 275 is too much. You got to make him throw for 200. I ain't going to say $175. I think it's too low, but 2 to 250 range, that's cool if you're Arizona. Have to get the ball to Jacob Cowan and Tetaria McMillan. Dumb boys. Jacob Cowan was one of my guys last year. Him and Dorian Singer, they was tough to me as a duo. And now McMillan, he been balling with Jacob Cowan. I think McMillan has 6, Cowan has 8, or vice versa. Them boys been balling. I know it's 14 total combined touchdowns. Dominate the line of scrimmage because that's Colorado's weakness. Colorado got the skill players. They just don't have the trenches yet. So they got to dominate that. They got to take advantage of that. And get Jonah Coleman his touches as well. He got 565 yards and 3 touchdowns. If you dominate the trenches, you got to run the rock. So you got to get your boy the running back the ball. For Colorado, get Travis Hunter and Xavier Weaver the ball. Travis Hunter is back. Travis Hunter is just such a dog. We all know. Travis Hunter is a dog. One thing we know about Colorado, Travis Hunter is a dog. Got to give him the rock. Xavier Weaver has shown that he's a dog too at receiver. They actually got a bunch of weapons. Jimmy Horn, Omarion Miller. They got weapons for sure, but those are the main two in my opinion: Travis Hunter and Xavier Weaver. Contain Noah Fafita. He can use his legs, so you can't allow him to beat you with his arm and his legs. Especially, you just got to contain, bro. He's been balling, like I said. Have to establish some sort of a run game, which Colorado run game is basically non-existent, and it's because of the trenches. But they got to find a way to force some type of run game. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they got to find a way. Trenches have to be better. I already explained that. And the defense have to force some turnovers. They got to force some turnovers. They got to force some extra possessions, and they got to cash in on them too. But Arizona, I think, has been doing a good job of not creating turnovers. So that's going to be tough. But with that being said, I'm going to take Arizona on the road to beat Colorado. Arizona, like I said, has been hot. They're playing teams well. Beat UCLA, now ranked. I hope the fact that ranked don't give them a hangover. But I'm going to bank on Arizona still having an underdog mentality, and I think they come in there hungry and they beat Colorado. So my next game, a rivalry game, we got the U at Florida State Saturday 3:30 on ABC. For Miami, Tyler Van Dyke has to play better. He's not been playing good. He's been playing so bad. Dave put him in the doghouse. I don't think Dave let him out the doghouse yet. Have to get pressure on Jordan Travis, who he's actually been playing phenomenal. He's been using his legs, using his arms. Jordan Travis has been great. Have to limit big plays. You're already behind the 8 ball Florida State's the better team. You can't allow them to get big plays, especially at home in a rivalry game. Oh, that stadium's going to be rocking. Can't allow big plays. Get the ball to Xavier Restrepo and Kobe Young. These two playmakers right here are tough. I mean, you can also throw Jacoby George in that mix. Miami has great receivers, in my opinion. They can finally get separation and all that. Got to get them the football. And they got to hit on their big plays on their own. So whether it's a long rush by Henry Parrish, these guys making big plays, 40-yard catches, stuff like that. They got to hit big plays of their own to get the crowd out of it. For Florida State, y'all know my motto. You need to play down for. Get Keon Coleman the ball. Get him the rock and let him just do what he do. Jordan Travis, continue using his legs. I think that makes Florida State so much more dangerous when Jordan Travis is both beating you with his arm and his legs. They already got Trey Benson in the backfield. They already got Johnny Wilson and Keon Coleman on opposite sides. Jaheim Bell at tight end. And then you mix in the Jordan Travis run, man. Force the Tyler Van Dyke interception because it's coming. It's coming. Ronaldo Green, Fincher Cypress. The ball is coming. You gotta catch it. Gotta catch the pick. Blanking on Sergio's last name. Sorry, the safety. But I'm blanking on his last name. My apologies. Limit big plays with these receivers. Like I said, these receivers for Miami are really good. So you gotta eliminate the big plays that they can make. And lastly, hit the Tyler Van Dyke. This Florida State defense has 25 sacks. Jared Verse hasn't been as loud as he was last year, but this defense as a whole has 25 sacks. So get to Tyler Van Dyke. Make him make a error mistake. Force him to make a mistake. I'm trying to look up this bro's last name so I can give him the proper credit. Excuse me. He deserves. And like that, I spelled roster wrong. Give me a minute, fellas. I know I'm messing up so bad right now. But with that being said, I'm taking Florida State to win this game. Florida State, in my opinion, is the better football team, better quarterback. Jordan Travis still in the mix for Heisman. Like I said, if Florida State goes undefeated, 13-0, win the ACC championship, especially against Louisville, Jordan Travis should win the Heisman. I understand Michael Penix right now is still probably the leader in the Heisman, still undefeated with Washington. But in my opinion, like Michael Penix then had a couple games, especially the Arizona State game, that might have took him out of it. Not out of it, but might have lessened his momentum. Excuse me. I shouldn't say out of it because he's definitely not out of it. He's still leading. But then he might have lessened his momentum. Oh, Shaheem Brown. That's what I was thinking about. Not Sergio Brown. Shaheem Brown. Because I almost say Sergio Brown. I'm like, oh, that's not it. Shaheem Brown. Excuse me. But, yeah, I'm taking Florida State. Moving on, we got Utah at Washington. Washington, you can catch that game Saturday, 3:30 on Fox. For Utah, Bryson Barnes, 18th ranked Utah at 5th ranked Washington. Don't want to disrespect none of these teams. For Utah, Bryson Barnes will have to build on last week. Put up 55, I believe, on Arizona State. Got to build on that. Now I get Arizona State is not Washington. Not in the slightest. But Washington defense isn't great either. Like, they're cool, but they're not great. Use Sione Vaki on offense. They did not use Sione Vaki on offense from what I can tell. That hasn't changed. They have to use him. He's dynamic. I understand he's a safety on defense as well. You probably want limited snaps. So I feel like maybe they just saved him for this game. They don't want to do it each and every week. So I understand that. So this week for sure, I have to use him on offense. Defense will have their hands full. Now this Utah defense is pretty good. But so is Michael Penix. Michael Penix is a dog. Their hands will be full trying to stop this Washington offense with those NFL receivers and Michael Penix at quarterback and Dylan Johnson at running back. Hands will be full. Have to hit the deep shots. Money Parks. They've been trying to throw deep to Money Parks ever since Florida. I mean, they connected the one time with Bryson Barnes, Money Parks. Ain't really seen too many since, but they got to connect. Have to force and cash in on turnovers because Utah's offense isn't that great. They're not. Man, look. You go to let me take that back. Utah offense isn't great without Cam Rising, which he's out for the year. So we might as well just say isn't that great this year. So the defense will either have to score or force turnovers and short fields, and Utah will have to take advantage. Now for Washington, my first point is just score. If they score 50, it's over. Utah's not touching that. Not with this offense. 49-50, it's over with, in my opinion. Michael Penix will have to play mistake-free. And what I mean by that is no turnovers. And it will be tough against this Utah defense with Cole Bishop. Cole Bishop has forced a couple turnovers I've seen that's been nice, too. So it's going to be tough against this Utah defense. Excuse me. Stop Jaquindon Jackson, the running back. Don't allow them to get easy rushing yards. Make Bryson Barnes have to put the ball in harm's way. Jaquindon Jackson has 598 yards and 2 touchdowns. Run Dylan Johnson. Dylan Johnson has 686 yards and 10 touchdowns. Huge, major performance last week against SC. Huge in that game. You can run Dylan Johnson, keep the pressure off Michael Penix, which Michael Penix don't really necessarily need the pressure taken off of him, but it would help tremendously. And defense has to force a couple stops because last week, I mean, that was basically it. That was the turning point of the game. I mean, they won 52-42 against another gunslinger, against another great quarterback, and a 10-point difference due to a stop. So, got to force stops. I don't see Utah scoring 40 points either, though. But just in case, got to get a couple stops. With that being said, though, I'm taking Washington at home to win the game. Way better offense. Now, I get it. Utah is a better defense, but, hey, this Washington team has gone against good defenses before and put up points. I don't expect nothing less against Utah. SC put up, 32 against this Utah team? In a losing effort, I think Washington could put up 40 against Utah. Maybe even 39, 38, 39, that range. So, I'm going to take Washington to win the game. I don't see Utah being able to put up that many points. All right, moving on. We got another 3:30 game. We have Tennessee at Mizzou, and actually Tennessee is favored on the road against Mizzou, and more on that a little bit. I guess I kind of spoiled it, right? You can catch that game Saturday, 3:30 on CBS for Tennessee. Joe Milton on the road again. Y'all know how I feel about Joe Milton on the road. I don't think he's as good as he is at home. Now, last week, he played pretty well, even though Dylan Sampson and Jalen Wright had great games against Kentucky. But Joe Milton played really well on the road last week. Have to stop Luther Burden and Theo Weiss Jr. Phenomenal receivers. Luther Burden, dog. Theo Weiss, dog. Squirrel White and Ramel Keaton have to step up at the wide receiver position. Self-explanatory. Have to establish Jalen Wright, who had it, like I said, a monster game. He got like 800 yards on the year. Have to slow down this Mizzou offense. This Mizzou offense, it's been cooking. It's been cooking. I mean, yeah, last week he only put up 21 against Georgia, but that's Georgia. Tennessee ain't Georgia. So, have to stop this offense. Now, Mizzou, get the ball to Luther Burden. Again, dog, self-explanatory. Brady Cook has to take care of the football. He's been doing an excellent job in doing that. But, again, the games that they lost, he's had 2 picks. Georgia, he had 2 picks. Not Georgia. LSU, he had 2 picks. The 2 games they lost, he had 2 picks in them. Got to take care of the football. Pressure Joe Milton. They have 27 sacks, this Mizzou defense. And I feel like if you pressure Joe Milton, that's when he get a little inaccurate. And that's when he could throw you a pick. Established Cody Schrader, who has 919 yards and 10 touchdowns. So amidst having these dogs at receiver, Brady Cook at quarterback, he's still almost at 1,000 yards. 919 yards in 9 games with 10 tuds in 9 games is phenomenal. And stop Jalen Wright. You stop Jalen Wright, you put more pressure on Joe Milton, and I don't think Joe Milton will do well on the road against this Mizzou team. And with that being said, I think the wrong team is favored. I'm taking Mizzou at home to win this game. I don't trust Joe Milton on the road. I trust Brady Cook at home. I trust this Mizzou offense more than I trust the Tennessee offense. Give me Mizzou to win this game outright. In our last 3:30 game, we have Rutgers at Iowa. Just an ugly defensive game. We already know how this game about to go. And yes, the under, for those who wondering, is 28.5. Disgusting. I'm not, off principle, I'm staying away from that over under. Can the under hit? Absolutely. Will I be touching that game? Absolutely not. So, for Rutgers, you can catch this Saturday, 3:30 on Big Ten Network. So, for Rutgers, have to find ways to score because it's tough to score against this Iowa defense. If there's one thing Iowa's going to do, they're going to play defense. They might be trash at offense, but defensively, amongst the best every year. Keep Iowa offense behind the chains. Deacon Hill is not going to throw you to a victory. I just don't see it. Establish Cal Monunga, which will be tough, by the way. He has 903 yards and 7 tuds on the year. Easily Rutgers' best player. And I mean that offensively and defensively. Now, defensively, they got some dogs. Don't get that confused. They definitely got dogs defensively. But I just think Cal Monunga is the best player on the team. Don't allow a Cooper DeJean punt return touchdown. Because I feel like Iowa, which I will say later, I always want to score on either, like I said, Cooper DeJean punt return, pick 6, scoop and score. They're going to have to score other than some. They're going to have to find some other way to score the offense because the offense ain't reliable enough to score. And Gavin Wimsatt, no interceptions. They can't have no turnovers. No Calvin I got fumble. No Gavin Wimsatt interception. No turnovers. Now for Iowa, Deacon Hill has to be better. He has to be better. Just point blank period. Have to establish LaShawn Williams 581 yards and 551 yards, and a touchdown a year. I don't know if Caleb Johnson is back this week. I don't think so. Let's look real quick. But I don't think Caleb Johnson is back for the Iowa Hawkeyes. And we all know Cade McConnell. We know Cade McConnell is out for the year. Yeah, I don't see anything, actually. I don't see anything about Caleb Johnson, but I just say we'll just rely on LaShawn Williams. If Caleb Johnson plays, then it's even worse. But I don't think he's playing. Have to stop Calvin Unguy. Already explained that. Defense have to find a way to score. Said that they need a pick six, probably Cooper DeJean, if you're dumb enough to throw his way, or a Scoopman score. Cooper DeJean has to have an interception. So look, I think Gavin Wimsatt is going to throw a pick. I think he's young. Gavin is young. I think he throws a pick. I think he might even try to, I might got Cooper. He might fall for one of those. Oh, he's open. You know how corners make somebody look open and then they jump it. He might fall for one of them. And with that being said, I'm going to take Iowa at home to win because it's tough to win in Iowa. It is what it is, especially with a young quarterback who I think is prone to throwing a turnover. Now, the numbers may not say that because I believe he only has like 5 picks on the year. But I just think against this tough Iowa defense, he's going to throw one. I just think it is what it is. It's inevitable. I'm sorry. And he has 5 interceptions, 8 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. So I just think Gavin throws one. Iowa wins probably like 10-7, which, I mean, obviously, you like, Carl, you said 10-7. Easily take the under. No, sir. Not no under 28.5. Not me. I mean, if you win, good luck. I mean, good for you. But I will stay away. Our next game, we have 9th ranked Ole Miss at number 2 ranked Georgia. Saturday, 7 o'clock on ESPN. And y'all know I love me some Jackson Dart. So for Ole Miss, Jackson Dart will have to be phenomenal. I've been a fan of Jackson Dart since he was behind Keaton Slovis at SC, and I was wondering to myself, how is he behind Keaton Slovis? How is he not this team starter? Have to stop DeJuan Edwards, running back for Georgia. They have to stop him. And they have to force a Carson Beck interception, which Carson Beck hasn't thrown too many of those. Carson Beck has actually been playing great. A lot of people thought it was because of Brock Bowers, but no. Carson Beck, in his own right, has been balling. He only has 4 picks on the year. Have to establish Quashawn Judkins and Ulysses Bentley the fourth. You got to establish some type of run. You got to play because, I mean, let's be honest here. Ole Miss defense is not great. It's not. It's never has been. It might be cool a little bit. It might show up here and there, but their defense is not great. Got to run the ball. Got to kill the clock. Keep away from this Georgia offense. But they also got to score touchdowns. And that's part of my last point. Got to give touchdown Trey Harris the ball. Touchdown Trey, man. Got to give him the ball. Got to give him in the end zone. Touchdown Trey, man. Got to get him the rock. Now for Georgia, Carson Beck continue the ball. Like I said, he's been balling in his own right. A lot of people I don't think give him enough credit. Have to pressure Jackson Dart. This defense shockingly only has 19 sacks. Shocked me too when I looked it up. Only 19 sacks. Stop the Ole Miss run, which forces Jackson Dart, puts pressure on Jackson Dart to beat you. Which he can beat teams, but Georgia might be a little different. Continue getting Ladd McConkey the ball. He's been balling. I think he had 160 1 week, and I think last week he was like a couple yards off of 100. I know he's been the lead. He's been Georgia's lead receiver the last 2 weeks since Brock Bowers been gone. So get him the rock. And establish DeJuan Edwards 633 yards and 8 touchdowns on the year. He's been balling at running back for Georgia. But with that being said, I'm gonna take Georgia at home. Now here's the thing: Ole Miss struggled. Their only loss was to Alabama, and they struggled to score on Alabama's defense. And I think the same will happen against Georgia. I think they're going to struggle to score against this Georgia defense. I don't trust Ole Miss defense to continuously keep Georgia out the end zone. I will not talk about the spread because I'm probably staying away from it. But I just think the same thing how the Alabama game went is going to be the same way how this Georgia game goes for Ole Miss. Our next game, we have West Virginia at 17th ranked Oklahoma. You can catch this game Saturday, 7 o'clock on Fox. Now, for West Virginia, have to contain Dylan Gabriel. Do not allow him to use his legs. His arm can't allow him to throw for 400 yards. None of that. Garrett Green has to continue to be dynamic and use his legs. Get Devin Carter the ball, 414 yards and a touchdown on the year. He's like the deep threat for real. Continue to establish the run with C.J. Donaldson, especially. C.J. Donaldson has been balling the last 2 weeks. He's honestly their consistent running back. He's their guy. He's my guy. I love C.J. Donaldson. I mean, they have to force turnovers. They got to force turnovers in this game on the road. You got to force turnovers, momentum swinging turnovers. Now, for Oklahoma, my first point is home sweet home. Went 0-2 on the road in these last 2 games. Lost to Kansas on the road. Lost to Oklahoma State, Bedlam on the road. Now they're playing at home. Need some home cooking to get back right on track. Keep running. Tyree Walker was 444 yards and 6 tugs. Got to get the ball to Drake Stoops and Nick Anderson, who they both have 14 touchdowns combined. I think Stoops has 8, Nick has 6. 14 touchdowns combined between the two. And fun fact, neither one of them lead this team in receiving yards. Actually, Jalil Farouk do. But these 2 guys, though, touchdowns, yeah. Got to contain Garrett Green. Don't let him use his legs. Keep him in the pocket. And they got to win the turnover battle. You're at home. Got to force them. Get the crowd ball to the game. Can't give West Virginia momentum swinging plays and turnovers and fumbles and picks and stuff like that. Can't get that to them. Can't allow them to stay in the game. With that being said, I think Oklahoma coming back home gets them right back on track, and they beat West Virginia. I might be inclined to take West Virginia if that spread go up another point, maybe, but right now I'm just taking Oklahoma to win. Now we got 2 more games left. If 2 more games left, then I might. We'll just end it with these last 2 games. We got Duke at UNC. Saturday, 8 o'clock on ACC Network. Now for Duke, Riley Leonard may be out for the year. So, Grayson Loftus, this team is yours. Grayson Loftus can't turn the ball over. Not against Drake May in this offense. He had 1 touchdown, 1 pick last week against Wake Forest, and they got away with the dub, but Mitch Griffiths ain't Drake May. Have to pressure Drake May. This defense has 20 sacks. Got to get to him. Have to stop Amarion Hampton. Now, was it this game? No, it was the Louisville game where Duke really got exposed running the football. Louisville was running the Jawad Jordan, and he was just breaking long runs. Wake Forest got away with running the football a little bit. With Amarion Hampton with UNC, he's better back than I believe DeMont Claiborne is, so can't allow them to run the rock. You got to establish Jordan Waters. Now, the reason why I say this is because UNC, before I don't want to say tricked anybody, but I'll just say that for lack of a better term. Before they tricked everyone by beating them at South Campbell, Georgia Tech beat them by running the football. They could not stop the run. If Duke can establish Jordan Waters and run like Georgia Tech was able to run, it's going to be a long night for UNC. Now, for UNC, Drake May has to ball out. This Duke defense is really good. I will say that. I have been saying that. But so is Drake May. And he has the ball. No, not. But Drake May has been throwing some of these interceptions lately. And is not going to lie, it's kind of been making me a little frustrated with Drake May because I love Drake May. But he got to cut the picks down. He just wanted the ball. You can't get his Duke team, especially in a rivalry game, any momentum. Can't do it. He has 5 picks. So he's been cutting down on them lately. But early in the year, boy, was he throwing them things. Run Amarion Hampton. 1,067 yards on the year, 12 tugs. Self-explanatory with those numbers. Got to run him. Get the ball to Tez Walker, the North Carolina guy. Ever since he's been back, he's been balling. He had 438. Well, he did have like a mishap here and there. But he got 438 yards, 6 touchdowns, and he didn't start the year. I think he missed like the first 4 or 5 games. So, balling. Pressure Grayson Loftus. It's only the second time starting. And second time starting. This is a huge rivalry. He's a young guy. Force him to throw interceptions. The defense has 23 sacks on the year. Now, that's heavily inflated because of the South Carolina game. But still, 23 sacks on the year. And stop Jordan Waters. Again, the Achilles heel was the run game against Georgia Tech. Got to stop it against Duke because that's going to be Duke's strong suit on offense with Riley Leonard being gone. But with that being said, I'm going to take UNC. I'm just honestly going with the better quarterback here. Not only that, Grayson Lawson's, in my opinion, I don't know too much about him. I've seen him throw a pick and I've seen him throw a tud. Can he throw another pick? Absolutely, in my opinion. So I'm going to just go. I'm going with the more known. Duke is the more unknown in this game. I'm going with the more known in North Carolina, especially at home in a rivalry game. Give me North Carolina to win this game. And our last game of our Week 11 preview, we have USC Trojans at 6th ranked Oregon. And catch this game Saturday, 10:30 on Fox. I know I'm gonna be up late again, but I got y'all. Forever, USC, they gotta play some defense. They gave up 52 last week, as I stated earlier. Gotta play some defense. Caleb Williams had to be perfect. No turnovers, no fumbles, no mishaps, because you can't allow it. Not with his defense. They got to force a Bo Nix interception, which Bo Nix at home is, man, it's going to be tough for y'all to do that. Marshawn Lloyd and Austin Joyner, I didn't even write his last name, I forgot, will be huge in this game because they got to establish some type of run to keep the pressure off of Caleb Williams. Brandon Rice is going to have to score multiple touchdowns because it's going to be a high-scoring game. Now, at this point, I wanted to bring in, but I forgot to write it down. Now, for SC, their playoff hopes is completely over. Not even close. No way. They would need a catastrophic amount of help. But I don't think their Pac-12 championships, their Pac-12 championships are still in reach. Their 2 losses in the Pac-12 were Washington and Utah. If they can beat Oregon, they will own the head-to-head over Oregon, which would jump them to second because Oregon would have the loss to Washington and SC. SC would then play – why is it not scrolling down? SC would then – NC will only have 1 game left, which would be UCLA next weekend. That would be it. If they can beat UCLA next weekend, which is very possible, they will solidify themselves, in my opinion, to that 2nd seed. Washington pretty much is in. There's no way, in my opinion. Yeah, because Washington has the tiebreaker over both Oregon and SC. So Washington clinched the Pac-12 championship game. I don't know why they say they didn't, but they should because Washington has – because Washington has 3 games left. Excuse me. So I lied. I'm so sorry. They have not clinched yet. Washington, if they win against Utah, have clinched the Pac-12 championship because they will have the win against, again, SC and Oregon. If they beat Utah, they will be 7-0 in conference play with 2 games remaining. So they can even blow those last 2 with the win against Utah and still be the number 1 ranked Pac-12 team. Now, for Washington playoff hopes, they need to win out. But we're not talking about that right now. We're just talking about the Pac-12. So SC can't give up on the season because they have a chance. They actually have a high chance if they win this game to go to the Pac-12 championship. So I know, guys, 3 losses, playoffs are out of contention, but you can still get you a ring by winning the last season of the Pac-12. So you got to hang on to this season. You can't give up. Now for Oregon, Bo Nix, win a shootout because this is going to be a shootout. He got to win it. No turnovers. Honestly, I don't think they need to be aggressive going for them 4th downs, 4th and 4s, 4th and 3s. They could punt it off and trust their defense because SC defense ain't going to continuously stop them. Force a Caleb Williams turnover. If they do that, oof, boy, and keep putting SC defense out on the field, ooh, yeah, it's going to be long. It's going to be a long day. Get Troy Franklin the ball, 946 yards and 10 tuds on the year. Run Bucky Irving, 821 yards, 9 tuds. And don't allow USC to establish a run game. Now, I say that because, again, you want to not take all the pressure off Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, you want him to have the pressure too. He got to play perfect. He can't mess up. No interceptions because this defense has been horrendous. And the way you do that is you don't allow Marshawn Lloyd and Austin Joyner to break these long runs or keep SC offensive line in front of the train. I say trains, in front of the chains. But with that being said, I'm taking Oregon to win at home. Oregon at home is just like Superman. Like, they barely lose at home, especially with Bo Nix. SC defense worries me a ton. It worried me at the beginning of the year. I thought Caleb Williams would be able to overcome that, but he can't, not all the time. And so I'm going to take Oregon to win the game Saturday. So with that being said, though, however, that is it for your Week 11 preview, and I finished with a lot of time to spare for our 7 o'clock NFC East panel. Should be a good one. I know Joe can't make it, but boy, it's gonna be a good one. I'm gonna be tuned in 7 o'clock tonight on the main show, Refuse to Lose Network. But that's all I got for y'all today. Enjoy y'all college football Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays. Like I said, I will have a short for y'all for some college basketball games to watch because this is CTC, not CFB. I do talk about college basketball as well. Real quick, actually, let's touch on this real quick. I didn't watch the game because it was on the Barstool Live. But I see Arizona State got whooped by Mississippi State. I think they lost by like 15. Mississippi State was just dominant throughout the game. Also, another game that let's talk about a little bit, FAU. Now, the FAU Loyola game was actually close, or at least closer than what the final score indicates. They actually played a closer game. FAU just pulled away in the second half. But, man, I honestly picked Arizona State to win against Mississippi State, and I did that only because of coaching. I just thought Bobby Hurley would be a better coach. And I'm not saying coaching lost them the game because I didn't watch it. All I know is just that they lost. I think Arizona State might have lost a little too much. They lost what? They top 5 scores from last year. They lost what? Devin Cambridge. They lost DJ Horn. They lost Frankie Collins still there, but they lost a lot. Arizona State actually lost a lot. So kind of a mishap on my end. But again, I just wanted to touch on those two games. FAU and the FAU game, they bring a lot back from that Final 14. I was kind of scared to bet the -7, but I did it. I thought they might be a little overrated, but no, FAU is just really, really good. They are. I don't think it was overrated. I don't think it was a lucky Cinderella run. No, I just think they're a really good basketball team. But again, I just wanted to touch on that a little bit, and that's all I have for y'all today. And until Sunday, or if you want to see my short, I'm gone. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.